We're gonna have a rock and roll party tonight. Here we go.
Greetings and welcome.
Ooh. Take two.
I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. To Old Drunken Discography. We're all friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and talk about a musical artist. This week's musical artist is Propagandhi. This was my pick. Every week, one of us picks an artist, brings to the table. The rest of us, we all listen to the records, we rank them, and
Then
that's
we
what we
move
do.
on.
We drink a lot of alcohol. So, we're talking Propagandhi, and go back and watch our How to Clean Everything video to see the history of our relationship with the band, how much we love this band or did not know this band existed till now. You can find all that in the first video. In this video, we're talking Victory Lap, which I can't fucking find now.
But as of now, it's the last
Than most.
in the Propagandhi discography.
We've made it to the end. I forgot what
Same producer as the last album.
Same producer, which is mind-blowing. We do have another change in the lineup. Now we got Sulian on second guitar. The Beeve is
Okay.
not on this album. Well, he
But
is.
we're keeping the second guitar.
We are keeping the second. And Sulian fucking rocks, dude.
Okay.
Go watch any post-2017 Propagandhi live videos. There's a loose theme on Victory Lap, especially in the first three tracks. Topic a lot of people seem to have forgotten about since the last election. This is 2017, mind you. And I happened to be editing the Nickelback Feed the Machine video where we were talking about good political albums that had come out post-2016. Victory Lap kind of takes the cake on that one, I think. But that's just my humble opinion.
It's up there for sure.
So yeah, Victory Lap.
Yeah, I'll start with this one. After listening to the last couple just bangers of albums, and I'm talking like the last 4 or 5, like we've had a really good run here as a band in our releases. And this one, again, even the cover is evocative of the last album cover. And it feels like now that I've made it to the end, I can kind of see like how the discography rides. And we seem to have like a little 3-album cycle where it kind of like starts and dips for a couple albums, and then they come back with some new ingredients, and then that it's like a little shark fin, And I feel like this is like the last album I had mentioned. I was hearing like some Def Leppard, AC/DC, Mutt Lange influences kind of creeping in, and I felt like it really kind of crept in here. Whereas this album as a whole just felt a lot more rock. As opposed to the last few albums. The tempos are a little slower. There's a little more cohesion to the songs as far as verse, chorus, verse. Now, that being said, we're still a Propagandhi album, and the lyrics are still amazing. The musicianship is all over the place as far as, good. But song structure, I should say, is all over the place as far as, there's nothing really predictable. But this kind of borders on that edge for Propagandhi. We're like, okay, like maybe I figured out the Propagandhi formula, or maybe they're kind of creeping into that, this is our 9th album or whatever. And so what are we going to do next formula? I thought this one sounded really good. And I thought lyrically there was a lot of really cool stuff going on, much like the rest of the entire discography. But musically and just, first impression feel wise, it felt not as urgent as the last couple.
Fair points. Fair points.
Yeah, again, new discography. I need a lot more time with it. And certainly not a bad album. But as far as this discography goes, I feel like this one is kind of missing something. And I did listen to the bonus tracks, and I loved all the bonus tracks. This is one where I feel like the bonus tracks almost overshadow at least a good 60% of the album.
They're all cover songs, aren't they?
And well, except for maybe the last one. But yeah, you got a COC cover. Go check out our episodes there. And you got 2 GI government issue covers. That'd be a fun one. We should do that band. And yeah, I don't know. Especially maybe I was just having listener fatigue, and I knew this was the last one. My notes are pretty incomplete. I could tell where this is kind of where I gave up trying to dissect them, and I just kind of took this one in. And yeah.
See, I think I know what you're saying. I disagree with what you're saying, but I understand what you're saying, because the things,
that's all I can ask for.
Everything that you said about this record is 100% true, and that's why I love it.
Okay.
I love the fact that this record feels, it doesn't feel bloated. It feels short, concise, to the point.
It is pretty quick.
I don't want to say simpler, but it's more musically. I don't want to use
simple.
The word pop.
Yeah, no, I think simple's a good word.
It's very
for Propagandhi. Yeah,
I'll say it's more easily digestible than some of the previous records.
Okay, yeah,
it's very. If I was to recommend Propagandhi, I would say Today's Empires, and I would say Victory Lap, or depending on who I was talking to. If it was somebody who was if they liked the more popular stuff, I would say Today's Empires and How to Clean Everything. But if they were more harder, I would say Today's Empires and Victory Lap, because I think this is a good representation of Propagandhi as the heavier side, the more, not heavier, but fuller side, but also more easily digestible.
Sure. I would probably take the other side in that argument, though, where especially with the last 2 albums, where we've been a full 4-piece now. Of the last 3 in this discography, I think this one's the weakest, and I feel like this is the one where they don't utilize the second guitar as much to to an effective thing. I again need more time with it. I should probably go back and listen to this one again with that in mind.
I'm not sure on the writing credits, but I know the Beeve wrote a lot of Failed States, whereas I don't know if Cillian wrote any of Victory Lap based on where they were at as a band and figuring it out. She's in Florida, they're in Canada, so she has to fly up there. They're playing some shows now where it's Propagandhi as a 3-piece.
I had some friends in Florida with Canadian girlfriends. You got to look out for them.
This would be the opposite.
Yeah, I know, right?
But no, Cillian fucking rocks. I don't know how much, if any, if she had any writing credits.
It does. I'm not seeing writing credits.
I think they lost a writer. I think without the Beeve, that kind of
simplified things.
Yeah. But
yeah,
we'll get into this one. Do you have notes back? And you want to go back and forth, Bill, or do you have?
Um,
I can go through
this one
mine.
I don't have as much on each of these songs. I mean, I've got more of a general overview with this one. I mean, I got some specific notes on some of the songs, but I got reasons for having notes on those songs.
All right. Victory Lap tied with Anti-Manifesto and Night Letters as the best opening track. That bridge, God, are you there? It's me in the denim jacket. Are you receiving my prayers? For the noise and cosmic static. God, are you there? Can you confirm I'm on the right goddamn planet? It's fucking good. Comply, resist. Don't go play with a toy gun or change lanes without signaling. Don't comply, don't resist, because it don't make no difference. Cop just out of frame. The melodies, the riffs. Top song contender. That's the theme for 2017 that a lot of punk bands let me down. Let me down in 2016, but Propagandhi didn't. Fierce Collide's a fucking banger. Letters to a Young Anus. Don't laugh out loud when they vote NDP and they act all surprised when they serve industry. All I'll say is no more lesser of two evils for me. Lower Order would have fit nicely on supporting cast. Has some super pretty parts for a Propagandhi song. Lyrically, it's sharp and brutal. Failed Imagineer, top song contender. I know it's the single, but it's so damn good. Back when the war ended, your great-grandfather hand-wrote letters of apology to all those families of the men who crewed that U-boat, haunted till his death by that long night off the coast. And the bridge of what we have here, the dreaded failed Imagineer. His private dismay on public display. Do not be alarmed by your old man's tears. Hey, old man, it's okay. Every dog has his day. Still gives me fucking goosebumps. I picture my grandfather, like, recounting his stories of World War II. And he was in the Navy. Call Before You Dig. I found out this was a Failed States leftover, reworked. That album could have used Dig for that diversity it was lacking. That's our universe in a nutshell. Regro, more Todd, sad, dark shit. Sort of means understanding what you project onto others and becoming aware of your own darkness. Dealing with the death of someone where things were complicated while they were alive. It gets more complicated when they're dead, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. I've had people in my life that died. It was like, oh, but they're dead now. Oh, yeah, but they were kind of a dick when they were alive. Track 10, I always took this one as even with all our technical advances, we are still just animals, but I could be way off. Tartuffle, we came here to rock. Single bombs to the front. Deadbeat dads to the rear. Oh, yes, that is how we do it here. Top song contender. Adventure in Zoocosis, hands down the best closing track they have ever had. It hit me so fucking hard as a parent. You'd like to think that you leave things better off for the next generation, but really there is only so much you can do, and the whole of society is corrupt and rotten, and we're all just in captivity. Chills every time I hear the lines, you grab your little brother's hand, run like the wind, and if I'm not there, don't look back, just go. But that last line, holy shit, you fucking feel it. I love this album.
Hashtag it.
Hashtag I fucking love this album.
Okay.
Bill, what you got?
So, Victory Lap. Let's see. I would agree. Victory Lap. Do agree with you on that one as a solid opening. I definitely like Night Letters better. But it was a very good opening. I love the lyrics and everything going on with it. A couple other ones. Letters to a Young Anus, actually, for me. Top song contender for me. Parts of that reminded me of Rise Against Prayers of a Refugee, just with the themes and stuff going on with the beat and everything. Which that's definitely not a knock. That is a positive. Um, let's see, other ones. Degrado, I love the intro of that song. And then the song is progressed through also. That was a great song for me. Um, I mean, it's still propaganda with all the lyrics and everything. However, I think if you took out the lyrics, I mean, granted, that is the definite. That's how you identify propaganda for the most part. It's real close to. I mean, like Tim said, like you just regular rock coming through on some of these songs here, which isn't a bad thing, but it's
They do it well.
yeah, a lot better than some other bands do.
Easily
Yeah.
digestible. This is a very
Yeah.
easily digestible record
I
compared
guess
to the past.
I want to say I'm nervous, but like it's going to be interesting to see what the progression is from here if they keep going more easily digestible. Because there's a point where you get too easily digestible, and then it's just mush you're trying to serve.
Oh, they're a far cry from Nickelback at this point.
But if they keep going in the progression, they're obviously not here in this album, and there's some other steps which are also not great in between there. But like how it's weird because usually I like most of what Epitaph puts out from like a label perspective, and this is not. I don't know. I mean, it's Epitaph still, but it's not. I don't know. I mean, I
Okay.
definitely kind of need some more time with this one, but
Yeah, this is also what the 7th Propagandhi record you heard.
yeah,
It takes. I'm telling you, go back and listen to fucking Cop Just Out of Frame. Sometimes lyrics is all you need. But I get it. You know, it depends on what you want musically, and
Sure.
Propagandhi musically, I can see everything Tim said about this record is 100% true, and you to an extent. But that's what I want. I want something, shorter and not. I don't want a failed states. I want a victory lap with the same wittiness and the same lyrical content. I don't want it watered down to Boys of Summer lyrics.
Well, we've already done that, so.
Well, they ain't done Boys of Summer lyrics. Maybe a riff here and there, but not lyrics. Go back and fucking read the lyrics to America's Army, dude. That ain't no
No,
fucking Boys of Summer.
I'm not saying especially that one. I mean, yeah, that one's great, but I don't know. It's interesting to me too, like throughout this discography, where there's a lot of commentating on the American perspective, but they're Canadian.
Oh, they fucking attack Canada too.
Well, sure, but as an American, which, sorry, it's interesting for me to hear other cultural perspectives of what I was living. Because, I'm alive at this point. I'm an adult in 2017, and yeah, I know what was going on. And so it is interesting to hear, just
That's
other
true.
cultural ideas, but it's weird when it's presented as American, which in a way it is. I mean, I love my brothers and sisters in our 51st state of Canada.
Hashtag Tim hates Canadians.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I love them with their flappy heads and beady little eyes. And their 8-bit society.
Oh no, I get it. It's hard to take outside criticism, like.
Well, it's not even criticism.
It's
just interesting. It's just interesting how, especially in a songwriting format, like, I can't even remember what it was now where we were talking about this, but we've talked about this in a previous episode where it's like, if you're writing about something from the perspective of somebody that you're not, like how that skews the actual perspective and message of whatever it is you're trying to present.
I like to think of it as, and I may be blind or biased because I'm an American, but what America does on a global scale affects other countries.
Sure.
So I like to think of it as that, as we used to be the pride, and America was something to look up for. That's changed in the last 20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, now we're kind of the laughing stock of the first world countries.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Now, are we the laughing stock because of Monster Energy drinks and Nickelback albums and
No, we got Canada to thank for Nickelback. They own Nickelback.
That's true. That's true. Damn.
But hey, we got a new Sublime single down here in the U.S. Go check out our review of that.
I would recommend our review over I would recommending the song.
Yeah. All right. Victory Lap. Who gets to guess this one? I think it's Bill's turn to guess.
No, we'd be on Tim, wouldn't we? I did cast, then you did failed. Yeah, it'd be Tim with Victory Lap.
Okay, I'll trust you because I'm drunk.
Bill's gonna put it 6.
Yeah, I am.
Jason's gonna put it 3rd.
The break at the Potemkin line. That line has stood firm for the last 3 albums.
Oh, it's breaking. It's breaking even further.
It's going. Is it going all the way, or is it staying at number 2?
Let's stay at number 2.
Okay. And I think Tim's going to have it in last place.
My notes say, I love this fucking album. Hashtag it. Musically, it stands out. The production is top notch. And it's the same producer as Failed Stage, which blew my fucking mind. I didn't know that till I was researching this. I don't know the time lengths, but it feels shorter than the previous 3 records. It's more digestible. If I were to try to get someone into Propagandhi, I would recommend Today's Empires and Victory Lap as starting points.
It's a minute shorter than Failed States.
See, that's just weird. It feels like it flows so much more. There's a lot more like moments that pop for me on this record compared to Failed States. Not as many as like supporting cast, but
which is 20 minutes longer.
Which is insane. Okay, so throw that whole fucking timestamp theory out the window. I don't fucking know. I like fucking Victory Lap. I'm excited to see what they do. I think Cillian fucking kicks ass. And
I am excited to see what they do next. Like, I enjoyed this discography.
I think they're going to have some shit to say. And I'm interested to hear what they got to say. Now for the color code. We have a new color this week. If you haven't watched our Nickelback reviews, go watch our Nickelback reviews. But we now have Nickelback Brown, which means this record should not exist as a species. We shouldn't have this record exist. All right. Bill, what you got?
We're gonna go green. Rue.
I'm still shocked that we all have supporting cast number 1. That's fucking mind blowing.
Great album.
Still green there.
I heard this year's Warped Tour's gone green. Guess their money grows on trees. Hope they ship those shitty bands overseas like they did the factories.
Green.
Ding 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 ding.
I'm getting that. No spoilers alert, but that's the top song contender. Let's go to yellow.
Oh, dude, this motherfucker literally. We were playing Fortnite the other night, me and Grease. Bill comes in out of the blue and recites the entire fucking public shell disservice announcement like out of the blue. I was dying laughing. I was way too drunk to handle that shit. Grease knew what was up.
Crazy Cat Lady didn't. Oh,
She had no fucking clue. Shout out Crazy Cat Lady.
yeah, it was perfect though. Still yellow.
I can't believe you have Today's Empire so at the fucking bottom. I think it was the jarring aspect. You just didn't expect it. You can go back and listen to that one.
I'm just gonna be conservative into the last 2 albums read.
Red?
Yeah.
You motherfucker. This is fucking payback for Nickelback, isn't it, you motherfucker?
I just.
What is your reasoning to say avoid fucking Today's Empire's Tomorrow's Ashes?
Compared to the other ones, to me, it doesn't. The other ones are better. I don't know.
What? Y'all motherfuckers. You know what? I was trying to help you out with fucking defending you in the comments. Y'all fucking let his ass know in the comments down below. Tim.
Tim, what's up?
Bill put fucking. He's got red on Propagandhi. That's interesting. Tim.
Well, and it'll be interesting for me too to go back and see how this compares to Bill's picks with the Descendants. That's a matrix I'm curious about. For me though, for Propagandhi for this discography,
I'm curious why you're curious.
all green here, right down the line.
I can get behind that.
Now, yeah, did some jump out at me more than others? Yes. Do I have some complaints about this discography? Yeah, a little bit. Um, there's some times where it gets a little generic, where there's some times where it gets a little too like we're just aping the Fat Wreck sound, etc. You know, but no, I think politically, politically, lyrically, there's a lot to digest here that I think not enough people are considering a lot of these issues. So I'm all for putting these issues in front of people's faces and making them, come to a decision on where they stand. And then musically, I think like this band, like they started off really strong. They've got a unique sound. They're very competent, even with lineup changes. Like every lineup change seems to improve. Adding the second guitar late in the career, like really opened up a whole new dimension for them, I think. And for me as a listener, like there's a lot in this discography that I think is really cool. And overall, there's like not much to not like.
For me, Propagandhi started out as a fat band along the lines of like a Lagwagon or a Strung Out or a Swingin'
Sure.
Utters.
Well, and every fat band was either Lagwagon or No Effects.
Yeah. And I implore you
And
to
there
go
is a little
back,
bit of that.
go watch, Google Propagandhi's first U.S. show. And I think you'll find the same video I'm talking about where they played like outside. John's bass like wasn't fucking working and it's so amateur. You can tell they're so nervous. But like the lyrics are there. Chris still gets up on the microphone. He still says what he has to say. And I've grown up with this band. I think they've gotten maybe a hot take. I mean, both Tim and I have How to Clean Everything pretty low. I think How to Clean is a very good introduction album.
Sure.
The lyrics are very like in your face, very, I don't want to say the word simple, but like fuck religion. Like it's very...
It's fun, but they definitely improve in every aspect.
To go from that to like a Poking City Limits where you're like, Francis did give a fuck about the rollbacks. Like they improve. They get better and better. Now Tim has Victory Lap at number 7. I have it number 2.
I need to go back to that album because I'm the one who I've clearly not spent as much time with it. And that's why it's green. That's why it's green. I there was nothing to dislike. Like it was a great album.
Yeah. I mean, it might be a hot take. I have Victory Lap. I think Victory Lap is a fucking phenomenal record. I think it's right where I want Propaganda to be. It's easily accessible, but still complex. Whereas Failed States is kind of, you got to spend time with. This whole discography you got to spend time with. Like that's just a fucking...
Yeah, for sure. And with that in mind, there was no real like bad place to start.
I would definitely start with my top 3, or my top 2 plus 5. I would put
same, but you can start anywhere, and like it'll start you. You're not gonna stop.
You make it through 3 songs and you catch the lyrics of 3 songs. If it offends you, then they're not for you. If you're like, wait a minute, what's he talking about? Then they're for you.
And if it offends you, go back and watch our Rage Against the Machine videos and go back and listen to those albums and tell me what you think of those.
And look at the timestamps and the years. We'll be talking about Propagandhi in our 1993.
Yeah, the content's very similar.
How to Clean Everything will be mentioned in our 1993 review. I know Joe and I both have it listed in our top 10s. Bill's got Sheryl Crow. He might have to boot Sheryl Crow off for How to Clean Everything being number 2. I don't know. We'll see. I will give Sheryl Crow that, though. The Nana song was the fucking shit back when I was like 12.
I mean, all I want to do is have some fun.
I'll give Sheryl Crow that. That first album's pretty good. But yeah, that has been our ranking for Propagandhi. Stick around. We're going to be talking about our top 7 songs. Hopefully, if you know the rules, there's no repeats allowed. You guys talked highly of some songs that have made my list, so there might be some thievery going on.
I've got plenty of backups, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not worried either. I'm gonna need some bonus cups on this one. Yeah, Bill, as always, be safe and what?
Make good decisions.